It's estimated that this year, cancer will become the leading killer in this country. So if your doctor said to you, do this and you may lower your risk for cancer, wouldn't you just listen and do it? Well, today we're talking with a familiar face who listens and passionately lives by some groundbreaking protocols. And today she is sharing that health information with us. Here now from Calabasas, California is author and actress Suzanne Somers. Suzanne, welcome back to The Balancing Act. We always love having you on the show.
And I always love speaking with you.
Now, you've really made it a personal mission to educate yourself and the public about what's considered cutting-edge care to prevent cancer and to stay healthy. So tell us why this is important to you.
It's interesting. I don't think something like this is something that you choose yourself. I think it chooses you. And I became involved in health because of circumstances that happened in my life, probably starting 10 years ago with a breast cancer diagnosis. And I knew at that time that balanced hormones prevents disease. So when I wouldn't give up my bioidentical hormones and when I refused chemotherapy, I was told at that time, well, you're going to die. And I said, I don't think so. I'm going to eat from here on in like my life depends on it, and I'm going to keep my hormones so balanced so that they become protective in me, and that's what I've done over the last 10 years.
Wow. Now, there was a recent Washington Post report on the president's cancer panel that says that Americans face, and this is a quote, grievous harm from chemicals in the air, food, and water that have largely gone unregulated and ignored. What surprised you the most about this?
I have it right here. I've read it. And it says, reducing environmental cancer risk, what we can do now. And this is 240 pages that anybody can Google and read. And what this report says, in essence, is we are getting cancer from the chemicals. It is from what we're eating. It's the poisons on our food. It's the chemicals in our cosmetics. It's the radiation exposure. Cell phones, electronics that we don't have any protection from them. It's from imbalanced hormones. It's from toxins in our household.
Now, doctors have told you there are 5 things anyone can do to reduce the risk of cancer. What are those 5 things?
We know we can clean up our house. We can, use green detergents and household cleaners. We can choose organic food. We can balance our hormones with bioidentical hormones, and I've written several books on the subject if you want to know about it, which will then manage your stress and allow you to sleep, because without balanced hormones you can't sleep. Those 5 things I just mentioned right now are all cancer protective genetic switches we have in our body that get turned off by poor food, chemicals, lack of sleep, not managing stress, and imbalanced hormones. But we have in our system a natural detoxification system called glutathione. I interviewed in Breakthrough, my last year's book, a scientist who was hired by the Department of Defense to develop a nanotechnology solution to keeping their submariners up for 36 or more hours without drugs. In doing so, he also created a nanotechnology patch that detoxed the body called the glutathione patch. What glutathione patches are is organic amino acids that access the infrared light in our body. That's very hard for us lay people to understand. It works on the acupuncture points. It moves energy around. But what this detoxing does is protects you from the free radical assault that we're all under, the chemicals coming into our body. And what these free radicals do is cause our cells inside our body to malfunction. Too many malfunctioning cells, you're going to get cancer or some other terrible disease. Antioxidants like glutathione come into the body and, in layman's terms, again, I call it Suzanne science, eat free radicals. So if you keep a revolving door, the free radicals are going to keep coming in, but the patch is going to keep eating the free radicals. So that's the protection you get. If you keep yourself healthy as you are younger, you have a better shot at living out this long life without being one of the stats. And next year, cancer will be the biggest killer in the world. 50% of all American adults will be diagnosed with cancer next year. It's in this report. It's not me saying it.
So when you go to your regular doctor, say for just your annual checkup, and ask about a patch like this one, At this point, is it considered non-traditional? I mean, what's a traditional doctor going to say if you ask about this? Is this something that's prescribed? Is it something you can, I don't know, get over the counter?
You don't need a prescription. What your doctor's going to do is your doctor's going to laugh at you. Just like when you go to your doctor and say, I want bioidentical hormones, and they'll say, what, you're listening to that actress again. All I know is I've hit 63, had cancer once, I sleep 8 hours a night, my mood is even, my weight is right where I want it to be, I'm not overly wrinkled as a result of the way that I take care of myself. I have a sex drive, which most women my age do not, because without hormones, you can't feel sex. By putting the natural bioidentical hormones back in individualized just for you, non-drug, non-chemical, natural hormones, you get to be you again. You get it all back.
Wow, that's really, really great. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining us again, for caring so much about bringing this kind of new information to us. And
you've been taking glutathione now for how long?
About 10 months.
Okay, and prior to taking it, you were taking vitamins.
Yes.
And high quality vitamins.
Yes. I felt like I needed something else. So when I heard about the glutathione, I thought I would try it. And almost immediately, I started waking up earlier and feeling rested.
So
finally.
Before that, you were getting up at what time? Going to bed at what time? Getting up at what time?
Well, I would go to bed at 11 p.m. And if I could, I would stay in bed till 10 o'clock if I wasn't disturbed.
Okay.
But then when I started taking the glutathione, I started waking up around 7:30. And I thought, boy, this is a big change for me.
And that's something you couldn't get from taking any other types
Right.
of pills? Or did you try ginkgo biloba and ginseng and all those other?
I've taken all of those, and I still do. I still take good vitamins.
Yeah.
And but the glutathione, I think, is helping me. Well, it's probably helping me in ways I don't even know. But one way is that before, for 2 years, I couldn't hold my one arm straight up.
Like, show us how far you could normally get it up.
Okay, well, this arm I could hold up like this, and this one it was like that.
Okay.
It was getting really bad.
All right.
Because I broke this arm when I was in 2nd grade, and so I started having problems. And so after taking the glutathione for about 9 months, I all of a sudden saw a difference and could raise my arms up straight again.
Right.
And it wasn't hurting. And I thought, okay.
Did you just notice that one day?
I just noticed it, yeah. It's doing me good, and it's still giving me energy.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a big day, sometimes I will just take 1 packet in the morning, and then sometimes then I'll take 2 packets. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. It just
Show us what the packs look like.
Max International is a company that is pioneering glutathione technology and bringing breakthrough products to market that provide unmatched intracellular anti-aging protection. Many people have no idea what glutathione is, and even less of an understanding of how it may be relevant to them. So one might naturally ask, why should I care about glutathione? Let's examine this question from a good news, bad news standpoint. Let's start by talking about the good news. Glutathione is a well-researched tripeptide formed from 3 simple amino acids, and it's found in every cell of the body. In fact, there are over 93,000 published and peer-reviewed clinical articles and medical studies that validate the important role that glutathione plays in the body. Research has found that glutathione is as fundamental to the existence of every cell as oxygen, water, or a fuel source. And in fact, your cells could survive longer without water or food than they could without glutathione. Through over 100 years of clinical research and study, the verdict on glutathione is in. scientists and doctors have unanimously concluded that glutathione is the defender of the cell and its master protector. Now, the good news is that our bodies were naturally designed to make glutathione, and that this amazing defense molecule already exists in your cells. The bad news, however, is that due to our polluted environment, stress-filled lifestyles, a processed and nutrition-depleted diet, medications, trauma, infections, and radiation, your body's glutathione levels are falling precipitously and simply unable to keep up with all the challenges it must defend your cells against. In fact, science has shown that from about the age of 20, your glutathione levels are dropping by 10 to 15% per decade. When your glutathione levels drop, it's a bad thing because it's considered your leading biomarker for overall health and aging. It is undisputedly the most important molecule your cells need to stay healthy and prevent disease. You see, fundamentally, what glutathione is doing is defending your cells from many of the most common and withering forces of aging. And numerous studies have correlated the drop in your glutathione levels to the aging process and the onset of disease. Now, many people use the term aging as a catch-all phrase to refer to various different phenomena we experience as we get older. For some people, aging means that they have aches and pains they didn't have before. For others, it means less energy and strength. For many, it means loss of memory and mental acuity. And for some, it could even mean new diseases or health challenges. Whatever the signs of aging that one may experience, the root causes almost always begin at the cellular level and are the result of some usual suspects that, had the body produced enough glutathione, likely would not have been able to destroy and ravage a person's health and quality of life. What are the causes of aging and sickness that glutathione is protecting against? The first cause of aging that glutathione addresses is oxidative stress. Our bodies use oxygen, but the obligate result of using oxygen is that it burns. And every time your body burns oxygen, if you don't counter that burning with an antioxidant, you will suffer the consequences of oxidative stress, including cell damage, cell death, and dysfunction of the cells involved. Think of it this way. In the presence of oxygen, a metal pipe will eventually rust. In your body, that rusting is called oxidative stress. Because science has understood the crushing impact of oxidative stress in the body, the study of antioxidants that neutralize oxidative stress has become popular and widespread. Today, research has identified over 70 diseases of aging, including Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and chronic fatigue syndrome, just to name a few, that result from the accumulation of oxidative stress. For all the antioxidants that have ever been marketed and touted for their powerful properties, the scientific community has concluded that glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. It's considered the master antioxidant because uniquely it can neutralize any type of free radical, and because it is responsible for recycling other antioxidants that have been spent. In fact, many antioxidants are considered powerful and useful primarily because they help to protect and optimize the function of glutathione. Glutathione has been shown over and over again to be the most important antioxidant in the human body. The next cause of aging that glutathione protects against is the loss of ATP production. Cars run on fuel, and the human body runs on an energy molecule called ATP. ATP is the energy source for every cellular function. Research has shown that glutathione is required for the body's production of ATP, and that your ATP levels are limited by the amount of glutathione available in your cells. As your glutathione levels decline, so does your energy. And when your cells don't have enough energy to perform their vital functions, the body shuts down, becomes dysfunctional, ages faster, becomes diseased, and eventually dies. For instance, if a neuron does not have enough energy, your memory is impaired. If a muscle cell lacks energy, you tire more quickly and are weaker. If your immune system does not have enough energy, those cells can no longer protect the body from disease and so forth.